for today is all about the structures of predication. When we say predication, it talks about how a sentence is formed, kung paano nagiging buo at may sense ang isang pangungusap. And take note that every sentence is made up of two main parts, which is the subject and the predicate. But before that, we should first discover the definition of subject and predicate para mas madali nating maiintindihan ang structures of predication. So now, let's define the two. Subject. Subject is the doer, who or what the sentence is about. While predicate tells something about the subject and always has a verb. Here are some examples. Diligence, pays. So, ang rule na ginamit dito ay subject plus verb. It is a short sentence, but the idea is complete. It is a complete thought. Another example, she does her work with diligence. Ang ginamit dito, ang rule na ginamit dito ay subject plus verb phrase. She is our subject, does her work with diligence is our verb phrase. In both sentences, the subject is what we're talking about, while the predicate tells what they do. Sa example number 2, na-emphasize na ang predicate ay does her work with diligence. And now that we understand the basic structure, let's move to the first type of predication. Structure of predication, complementation. It is a verb with extra information that completes its meaning. Like for example, John is kind. If we will just say John is, bitin, diba? Pero kapag sinabi natin na John is kind, buo ang thought. So, the word kind completes the verb is. Is our verb, it is a linking verb. That's why we call it complementation, because it completes the idea. Next, structure of predication, coordination. Coordination joins two or more predicates using conjunctions. Examples: she sings and dances. He studies but prefers to play. As you can see, may dalawang actions sa bawat sentence. In she sings and dances, both sings and dances are actions joined by the word and. So, coordination connects ideas para mas kompleto pakinggan ng isang sentence. But sometimes, we don't just connect actions. We want also to describe them better. That's why meron tayong structure of predication, modification. It adds descriptive details to the predicate, enhancing meaning by providing more information about the action or state. Like for example, she sings beautifully. Beautifully modifies the word sings.
So next, we have the distinction of the verbs. So this distinction of the verbs tells us how we use or how verbs are classified in and how each type is used in a sentence. So the first here is the S form. So the S form is used when the subject is singular, he, she, or it, and the verb taken an S inflection. So we have the example here. So our verbs is talks. So John talks to Rose. So our subject here is John. That is a singular. So we add s because our subject is singular, and that is as for. So next we have the base form. So base form is used when the subject is plural or not third person singular and the verb does not have the s inflection. So we have the examples here. So the examples here is talk. So John and Mark talk to Rose every day. So have we don't need a s in a verb because our subject here is plural, which is the John and Mark. So two, our verb is travel. So John and Rose travel on foot. That just like what I said that our that we add s if the the subject is singular. So we don't need add s on the base form because our subject here is plural. Next, we have the irregular and regular verbs. So these verb forms also include the distinction of the verbs between regular and irregular verbs. So regular verbs are those that form their past and past participle by adding ed or d, while the irregular verbs are those that change their form when used as past tense or past participate. So regular verbs, we just add ed for past, and future uses we add will plus verb. So if the verbs ends in a vowel, then you would only need to add a d to the end to change the verb's tenses. And if the verb ends in a consonant, you would only usually add ed. So we have the examples here. So there are the present, past, future. So the present is play, and the past is played, and the future is will play. So next, walk, and our past is walked, we add ed, and the future is will walk, we add will. So next, we have the irregular verbs. So forms change, no fix, or we don't need add ed. So we have the examples here. So the present, past, and future. So our present here is go, and our past verbs is went. So in our future is will go. So in our present here again is eat, and our past verb is ate. So in our future verbs here is will eat. So the endings for irregular verbs can change a lot according to the tenses. In fact, as well as the ending of the entire word might change completely.
Now that we already understand verbs and their different forms, let's take a closer look at two important types, the action verbs and the linking verbs. Action verbs show what the subject does, while linking verbs show what the subject feels. So let's see how action and linking verbs differ through some examples. Okay, Action verb versus linking verb. The farmer grew vegetables in his garden. The child grew tall. I smelled the flowers in the park. The flowers smelled fragrant. He remained in the classroom after class. He remained calm despite the noise. She turned the doorknob slowly. The sky turned dark. So, ang linking verb, nag-describe siya. Last, we stayed at the hotel for 2 nights. She stayed quiet during the meeting. So now let's proceed to the auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are helping verbs work with main verbs to form tenses, moods, or voices in sentences. These include be verbs, is, are, was, were, do verbs, do, does, did, have verbs, has, have, had, and the modals, can, could, would, might, may, will, and etc. Do verbs. Example, did you finish your homework? Have verbs. Example, they have completed the project. Modal verbs examples, I can swim. It shows ability. It may rain tomorrow. You must wear your complete uniform upon entering the school.
Next, we have the transitive verbs. So a transitive verb is a verb that needs a direct object to complete its meaning. So we have the rule here. So first, we're gonna put the subject plus transitive verb plus object. So we have the examples here. First, she reads a book. So our subject here is she, and our verb or transitive verb is reads, and our object here is a book. Next, they built a house. So our subject here is they, and our transitive verb is built, and our object here is a house. So let's proceed in intransitive verb. So an intransitive verb is a verb that does not need a direct object to complete its meaning. So first we have the basic structure of rule of intransitive verb. So first we're gonna put the subject plus intransitive verb. So sometimes we may add adverbs or prepositional phrases for details. So these are the rule of if you add adverbs or prepositional phrases. So s plus p plus adverb or prepositional phrases or phrase. So we have the examples here. So first, we have the subject is she, and our verbs is, or intransitive verb is sleeps. So next we have the adverbs or prepositional phrases that we have add. They arrive early. So our subject here is they, and our verb or transitive verb is arrive. So we add the early, so that is adverbs or adverbs. So next we have the transitive verbs. So verbs that allow two objects such as nouns and pronouns to complete the meaning. So we have the sentence here. She gave me a book. So she gave me a book. We have the two objects, or we have a two subject here, which is the she and me. That is these transitive verbs. So next, let's proceed into ergative verb. So ergative verb is simply a verb that has been made negative, usually by adding not. So this is the rule of basic structure of ergative verb. So first we have the subject plus helping verb plus not plus main verb. So we gonna add not here because that is a negative. So we have the examples here. So she does not like a coffee, or she does not like coffee. So our subject here is she, and our negative here is not. So we add does not. So our verb is, or our main verb here is like, and our object here is coffee. Next, we have the sentence, they cannot swim. So our subject here is they, and our negative is cannot, and our verb is swim, and that is the ergative verb. So next we have the prepositional verb. So prepositional verb is a verb that is always followed by a specific preposition, forming a phrase that carries a single meaning. So we have the rule, or the basic structure of the rule of prepositional verb. So first, again, subject plus verb plus preposition and plus object. So we have the examples. First, she looks after her brother. So our subject here is she, and our verb is looks. So we add the preposition the after, and our object here is her brother. So they rely on their teacher. Our next sentence. So they rely on their teacher. So our subject here is they, and our verb and preposition is rely, and our preposition is on. So the verb is our rely, and our object is there, and that's the prepositional verb.
Let's move to the 6 forms of simple and progressive tenses. First, we have the present tense. Rule: subject plus verb. It's either base form or in the S form. Example, I play basketball every weekend. Next, past tense. Rule: subject plus verb in the past form. Like for example, I played basketball yesterday. So subject plus verb plus ed. Future tense. S plus will plus verb as base form. I will play basketball tomorrow. Number 4. Present progressive tense. Subject plus or is or are plus VING or verb ing. I am playing basketball now. I as subject, then play as our verb or our base form plus ing. Next, past progressive tense. Rule: S plus was or were plus verb ing. I was playing basketball last night. Last, the future progressive tense rule. Subject plus will plus be plus v ing. I will be playing basketball next week. Okay, Let's move on to the 6 forms of perfect and perfect progressive tenses. First, present perfect tense. It shows an action that started in the past and continues or was just completed. Example, I have finished my homework. Subject plus have plus verb plus ed. Past perfect tense. It shows an action completed before another past action. Example, I had finished my homework before dinner. Subject plus had plus base form plus ed. Next, future perfect tense. It shows an action that will be completed before a specific time in the future. Example, I will have finished my homework by tonight. I as subject plus will have plus base form plus ed. Next, the present perfect progressive tense. S plus have or have plus been plus verb ing. Example, I have been studying for 2 hours. Next, past perfect progressive tense. Subject plus had plus been plus v ing or verb then ing. I had been studying when she called me. Last, future perfect progressive tense. Rule. Subject plus verb. Subject plus will rather plus have plus been plus verb ing. Example, I will have been studying for 3 hours by the time you arrive. So that's all about the structures of predication. Thank you for listening.